welcome back to my channel. This week I will be filming my 35-week pregnancy update, so let's just hop straight into it. So starting off with how I have been feeling the past week, I have taken down some notes on my phone, so I'll list them off to you now. So I have been struggling at night time to sleep a lot, and it's due to my feet. Mainly my feet. They feel very crampy, they're itchy. My hands sometimes get itchy, but not compared to my feet. And it's just really uncomfortable. I've had to take pillows from downstairs and whatnot to try put under my feet, so maybe that might help. And it kind of does, but at the same time my feet overheat, and then I'm just really warm at night and stuff. But I have a fan in my room which cools me down, so I definitely need that because I just overheat and everything's just too much at night time. I think most of my symptoms are mainly at night than it is during the day. In the morning I feel fine, apart from what I'm going to tell you now, which is my belly is just so tight. It's constantly tight. It feels so hard, and it's just not ideal, pretty much. And along with the tightness of my belly, I also have cramps as well. And I know the cramps is down to Braxton Hicks contractions, or whatever way you want to say it. And that's just pushing the baby down into the canal or whatever it's doing, I don't know. But the muscles contract and it's practice labour basically. So that is happening, and it's very uncomfortable. It's kind of sore, it hurts quite a bit at night time. During the day the belly is tight, and if I take a deep breath it hurts, but it's not too bad. It is mainly at night time that this usually happens. I have been feeling very heavy. I feel like the baby has, obviously he's growing, and you can definitely feel that extra weight, and because it is so heavy it's causing backache whenever you're walking or doing something during the day. I could be just walking up the stairs and my back is so sore, I'm out of breath and just exhausted pretty much. So something that I have mentioned before is the lump in my throat, which is really painful, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and it's really annoying when it is there because I feel like there's nothing I can do to get that away. And some people that I've read up about or watched videos about, and they say it's heartburn, but I don't understand how heartburn could happen in your throat, because my chest is fine, everything else feels fine apart from my throat. It literally just feels like this big massive ball, and it's it just feels like a big swollen ball in my throat. It's so painful. When I eat or swallow or drinking actually makes it worse. And it's just not nice at all. I don't like it. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. It is probably the worst thing ever. Something that I have noticed over the past few weeks, I'm not sure if I've said in my videos before, is at the start of the week I have the most energy, and then at the end of the week I'm completely dead. I have no energy, I just want to sleep all the time. I literally can't even get myself dressed properly. I just don't have any motivation to do anything. Just normal things, day-to-day things like washing and cleaning the house and stuff like that there. I have no energy to do any of that apart from at the start of the week where I'm just so energized. So I have been having really bad rib pain, and I know in pregnancy your ribs can kind of move out, I think. Don't quote me on that. And also the pressure of my uterus pushing up against my ribs. Everything is just so crammed in there that it just hurts so bad. And the baby as well. My baby right now is up here, and he's in front of my ribs, and it just kicks away at it, and obviously that's going to hurt. The kicks are lot stronger now because obviously he's getting really, really big and stronger. So the kicks do hurt. And talking about kicks, my baby last week there past, has been so active, like the most active he has been, and I don't know if that's a cause of concern or whatnot, but I'm just alright with it. Like, I know before he was like just rolling around and there wasn't much movement, which I was kind of concerned about. I was like, why is this not happening? And then all of a sudden it was just him going absolutely crazy. And yeah, but I think it's alright because, like, if he's moving, it means he's alright, I think. I don't know. And the other thing is, I just constantly feel uncomfortable. I can't sleep at night. I'm not sleeping till about 5 in the morning because I can't get comfy because my feet, like I said, they're itchy, and it's just, everything is just too much. I'm getting to the point where I'm just kind of fed up being pregnant and I just want him out. And I know a lot of people are like that too in their pregnancy. I've been watching videos to make sure that I'm like, is it just me? Like, I just feel like it's just me, where it's not, as loads of other people are the same around this point. You know, you're getting to the end and you're just kind of fed up and everything is just so much. Like, my whole pregnancy has been pretty easy, I'm not going to lie. Like, it has been really easy. And now in this 3rd trimester I have found it really, really difficult because I just feel like there's no end and just constantly in pain and just so uncomfortable, and it's just not nice basically, and I'm just so ready for him to come out. Like, you know, in 2 weeks time I'll be 37 weeks, which is the full term, and I'm here like, okay, in 2 weeks time can he come out? Because like, I just don't want to do it any longer than that. Like, I'm just ready for him to come out. I'm exhausted and I just kind of, I'm fed up with the pain that I'm in constantly, and nighttime, I'm fed up with night times because I can't sleep at all because I just can't get comfortable. I want to be able to lie on my belly, but obviously I can't because the baby's there. I'm going to squish him or something. And I am a belly sleeper. Like, I sleep in my belly. So, I don't know, I'm just kind of fed up with everything, and it's making me, I'm really, really emotional. That's something I forgot to mention, is my emotions are all over the show. The other night I was up crying till 5 o'clock because I was just in so much pain, and I just kind of was like, when is this going to end? Like, I am ready. Like, I'm ready. Why can he not come out? Like, obviously I know I have to wait until he comes out, but it's just so exhausting, especially the last few weeks. Like, I have 5 weeks left, just under 5 weeks, 4 weeks and whatever. So until his due date, he could come earlier. He is measuring on the bigger side of my graph, because each person is given a graph that goes off your height, your weight, and your BMI, and you're given a graph, and there is 5 lines, and it goes from the low weight to high weight, and my baby's already on the highest of the lines, which I think, I have an appointment tomorrow actually, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be off that line because of how big I feel. And my parents said to me that I don't actually look that big, but if you knew me before, like, well, obviously my parents knew me before, but I've always been a really, really skinny, slim person, and to me, with all this weight on me, it's so much. Like, I just feel absolutely humongous because I'm not used to it. I have a high metabolism where I was never able to put on weight. I struggled putting on weight, but I can lose weight. I easily lose weight. I just can't put it on. So, being pregnant, I've been putting on obviously a lot of weight, water retention and the baby, and it's just a lot for me to like get in my head. So that is something obviously I have mentioned before, that I struggled with my weight, and that's basically everything that's been going on the past week there. Let's see the development of my baby at week 35. So obviously my baby is big, like, well, I feel like he's massive. So he is measuring on the Pregnancy Plus app at 47.4 centimetres at 2,622 grams at week 35. Alright, so your baby weighs about 6 pounds, 2.5 kg, and will gain approximately 1.5 pounds per week from now until birth. The protective fat layer will make up about 15% of his weight at birth. Even though his gums are rigid and look a bit like teeth, the real ones won't make their appearance until about 4 or 5 months after birth. His cheeks are developing fat. The cheeks muscles are also developing, creating that lovely chubby appearance. If you're carrying twins, you may go into labour anytime. If I was carrying twins, I would love to go into labour right now. Like, I wouldn't know what that's like. I wouldn't, don't know how I'd cope with that. Your baby is probably sleeping about 90% of the time. To me, I don't think the baby is sleeping that amount of time, because my baby is so active all the time. Like, compared to before, he would sleep a lot more, because I noticed that, but I feel like he's constantly kicking. He's never sleeping. There isn't much room in there to move around anymore, although you will still be feeling regular movements. If you notice a dramatic increase or decrease in movement compared to your baby's normal daily activity, call your healthcare provider immediately for further evidence, advice and direction. Not evidence. Don't wait for your next appointment. And never think your concern is silly. Your healthcare provider will probably ask you to come in for monitoring to check the baby's heartbeat. So I know I mentioned that my baby is more active now than he was before, but I'm not worried about it. So I don't know. I can say to my midwife tomorrow about it, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine with my baby. I feel fine, other than obviously the uncomfortableness, the heaviness and everything else that I have mentioned before, but everything else feels fine. But yeah, that's the update on my baby at week 35. I will now show you my bump. So this is my bump at week 35. I feel like I did drop a little bit more this week than I have before, and I still have the line obviously, and it hasn't got any darker. I still don't have any stretch marks, but my veins are really prominent now. I notice them and my boyfriend notices them as well. Alright, so your baby weighs about 6 pounds, 2.5 kg, and will gain approximately 1.5 pounds per week from now until birth. The protective fat layer will make up about 15% of his weight at birth. Even though his gums are rigid and look a bit like teeth, the real ones won't make their appearance until about 4 or 5 months after birth. His cheeks are developing fat. The cheeks muscles are also developing, creating that lovely chubby appearance. If you're carrying twins, you may go into labour anytime. If I was carrying twins, I would love to go into labour right now. Like, I wouldn't know what that's like. I wouldn't, don't know how I'd cope with that. Your baby is probably sleeping about 90% of the time. To me, I don't think the baby is sleeping that amount of time, because my baby is so active all the time. Like, compared to before, he would sleep a lot more, because I noticed that, but I feel like he's constantly kicking. he's never sleeping. There isn't much room in there to move around anymore, although you will still be feeling regular movements. If you notice a dramatic increase or decrease in movement compared to your baby's normal daily activity, call your healthcare provider immediately for further evidence, advice and direction, not evidence. Don't wait for your next appointment. And never think your concern is silly. Your healthcare provider will probably ask you to come in for monitoring to check the baby's heartbeat. So I know I mentioned that my baby is more active now than he was before, but I'm not worried about it. So I don't know. I can say to my midwife tomorrow about it, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine with my baby. I feel fine, other than obviously the uncomfortableness, the heaviness and everything else that I have mentioned before, but everything else feels fine. But yeah, that's the update on my baby at week 35. I will now show you my bump. So this is my bump at week 35. I feel like I did drop a little bit more this week than I have before, and I still have the line obviously, and it hasn't got any darker. I still don't have any stretch marks, but my veins are really prominent now. I notice them and my boyfriend notices them as well. I don't know if I feel like my bump has grown much since last week. I feel like it's just more dropped than anything. So I measured my bump last night, and from right around across my belly, it is about 40 inches, 102 centimetres. So that can give you a good idea of the size of my belly. Before, my normal waist size is 26 inches. So yeah, you can see how much I've grew from before to now. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's update on my pregnancy. Bear with me with my uploads. I know all my videos are pretty much late, and that is because I have no energy to just do these videos and edit and stuff like that there. But you will get an update at some point. So if you enjoyed them, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and follow along on my pregnancy journey and meet my little boy in the next few weeks. And I will see you guys for another update next week.